shaped like a pumpkin, which was right and moved all around the campsite.
Then, 36 hours later on the 13th day, a team member decided that he had enough of this shit. There's too much weird stuff going on, and he decided to resign. The aliens didn't like that, I suppose, because on July 28th, at around 4 a.m. in the morning, another oval object was observed above the campsite, radiating a bluish light. Then the next day, around 5:30 p.m. on July 29th, someone had set up a campfire to prepare dinner. It was left unattended for about 4 minutes or so when the expedition leader, Kirill Kenev, noticed an expanding semicircle of fire on the clearing with a radius of about 3 meters.
Now, the odd thing about this fire was that it only affected the area with the tent that had all of the documents and the equipment in it. So the fire was like, screw everything else. We're just going to F up this tent with the documents and everything. Now, something else that was noted is that none of the sparks from the fire affected any of the other tents or even the pine forest nearby. And that when this fire was going, a strong wind sort of like appeared out of nowhere. So it got like super windy, but the fire was only contained in that one little area. Now, the villagers were like, holy shit, a fire, let's go help. So they ran up there and started to help them, trying to like put this fire out, which it took them 2 hours to put it out. Damn.
The expedition team suspected that there was some kind of force, perhaps alien hostility towards humans, that they were intruding in the secret zone of the aliens, and that the aliens were using psychic manipulative suggestions of like every 36 hours or so to cause something to happen to scare the shit out of them.
Well, I mean, they did have 21 UFO sightings in the 20-day period.
2 poltergeist sightings, which I don't know what UFOs and poltergeists have to do in common, but
I'm telling you, there was some type of terror in reality or something there. And they had these beings coming over from a different dimension. We need to go to that spot, Dan.
Oh, you would want to go there.
I want to. I'm sorry. I want to go there. I want to see if this truly is real. I want to talk to residents. I want to be on the scene. All right. So let's go on to our next strange fact and finding, which is sort of like a similar operation that happened. And this one occurred in Goliamo Gradisted. Okay. And this is an area in Bulgaria. So let me tell you about this operation. So it all started back in 1981. A man brought a map to Baba Vanga. He was like, hey, listen here, yo, bitch, you can't see.
I mean, technically, yes.
She can't see, she's blind. She's like, hey, look, I brought a map to you. I'm a little bit of an asshole. I know you can't see, but I'm going to describe it to you. Baba Vanga, of course, was like, listen here, bitch, I'm blind. I can't see. She didn't say that, but she actually did kind of scold the man. She said, hey, you're wasting my time. I don't want this map. Get out of here. But get this, before she kicked him out, she was like, wait. Krashmira, who was her niece, she said, hey, Krashmira, come here. Get this man's map, make a copy of it, and then kick his ass out. So that's what she did. Made a copy of the man's map, kicked his ass out. And he's like, I want to talk to you. He's like, she's like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to make a copy of your map, get your ass out. Anyway, Baba Vanga eventually got around to, I don't want to say looking at the map because she was blind. So I guess kind of like getting the map described to her. And she said that this map showed the location of a treasure trove of superhuman knowledge.
Now, the communist dictator Todor Kivkov was a fervent believer in the occult and was a frequent visitor to Baba Vanga.
Now, he was the dictator of Bulgaria at the time, right?
Yes, during 1981.
All right.
Now, his daughter, Ludmila, got a hold of the map and decided to waste no time and put together an expedition team to go search for the site on the map. They ended up finding the location on the map, which was the Galiamo Gradiste Peak, which was deep inside the border zone with NATO member Turkey. And FYI, this area was heavily guarded zone with an actual shoot-to-kill order in place.
By the Turkish army?
I believe so.
They don't mess around. All right. So once this Ludmila and the expedition team located the dig site. As they were digging this site, they were like, hey, keep your eyes out on this other archaeological team that's doing a legitimate dig at the foot of the peak that's a few hundred meters away. We don't want them intruding on us. So they had some people watching out for them while Ludomilia was, with the other explorers digging away trying to find this superhuman treasure trove, right? Well, shortly after they started digging, Ludomilia and one of the organizers, who was the Minister of Mineral Resources, they ended up dying.
Sadly, with the death of those two, they decided to stop digging and pack up their stuff and dynamite the entrance to seal it off. Which, after they pretty much blew up the entrance to close it off, a spring overflowed over top of it and flooded the entrance, which they say that it's pretty much sealed forever now.
Hey, I got snorkeling gear. We can go down there and snorkel. Well, if it's got dynamite and they blew it up and rocks go down, we're going to need diving equipment with canisters.
They say it's stagnant water. It's not like a running spring. Ugh. So I don't know if you want to go snorkeling in that.
No. I don't want to get no brain-eating amoebas.
Right. Now, the treasure they were going for was believed to be the tomb of the Egyptian goddess Bastet. The half-cat, half-woman god lady.
Oh, yeah.
In which her tomb contained treasure and the knowledge of the past 2,000 years, but they also said that it contained predictions for the next 2,000 years.
See, this is what I don't get. If you're a local government or a local leader and you just had your daughter die for trying to find this treasure, you aren't going to be like, let's blow this bitch up with dynamite and seal it off forever. If it contains this, you go for it.
I would say so, yeah.
I mean, doesn't make sense.
Because now that she died for nothing?
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we have a little bonus for this one, okay? It's an actual image of where they say if you at a specific angle and squint, you're supposed to be able to see a cat's face in the rock wall, which, I don't personally see it. Do you see it, Dan?
I don't see it.
And I'm guessing that's where the treasure's at?
If you look down below, I guess you can see like the stagnant water, maybe?
Ugh, yes. Gross.
But yeah, so I guess supposedly you can see the cat face, which was supposed to, I guess, mark the entrance or whatever to the tomb of Bastet.
Oh. Yeah, I don't see the cat face.
Yeah, I zoomed in, I squinted, even though I already squint. It's tough enough.
Oh, man. All right, Dan, tell us about this next strange fact and finding.
All right, this next strange fact and finding is about the giants that roamed Bulgaria way back. Now, near the city of Kayastindel, there's a small village named Pashtul. There's a legend of giant human beings that lived thousands of years ago. And one of their skeletons actually had been discovered during excavation near a small chapel.
So this temple, called the Holy Trinity Temple, is located near a pumping station on the Struma River in that small village. Now, during the 4th and 6th century, there was an ancient village near Pashtul that was inhabited by the Thracian tribe, who were allies of Troy. Now, dozens of skeletons were found in that area. And the strange thing is that almost all of them were over 6.6 feet tall. So goddamn, they were huge. They were giants.
They were pretty tall.
Yeah. Now, we thought that was pretty interesting, considered, the giant drawing they found in the tunnel in Saracina, which I'm guessing the giant drawing you're talking about is the one on the wall.
Yes. Which I wish we had the pictures of that, but all of that's gone, it seems like. Or hidden, classified.
Okay. All right.
Sad face.
So they had drawings of giants on the side of the Saracina wall. Weird.
But yeah, so Bulgarians known for having giants there. So it kind of like ties in, it seems.
Okay. All right, so tell us about this next strange fact and finding, Dan.
All right, this next strange fact and finding honestly isn't really too strange. It's the story that was so odd. So the story of Saracina Hole was actually used to make an interesting creepypasta. It talks about the entity that could have been behind the barrier along with other entities roaming around campsites at night. Then it seemed like a battle pursued with it, which I didn't listen to all of it, but we do have the link to it, so which if you do want to listen, you can. We'll post that up on the Patreon post, so you can go give that a listen, watch.
Yeah, but like we said in the regular episode, creepypasta is pretty much a term for a scary short story.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like Dan said, we'll post that up. All right, so let's go on to our last strange fact and finding, which is about the Lojanova girl and her journals and a supposed film that they all shot before they closed up the tunnel. All right, now get this. This Lojanova girl was reported saying this, and I quote, "All notebooks with codes and transcripts mysteriously disappeared along with all the magazines that we compiled in Saracino. The film that we shot before the closure of the project also mysteriously disappeared. I have no evidence left to confirm our work. I can use only your words and hope that people will believe me." So that's what she said. All right. So she believes that the military or government had taken all of the evidence of what was there and what she had and sent it out of the country to some other group that had sort of like the capabilities to decipher these coded messages that were written down, taken pictures of, that they found while doing their excavation. Okay. She guesses that whatever country or group is deciphering these coded messages, that they're still doing it, like they're still trying to figure out what they said, and that it's rumored that they contain the way of space travel, information about the universe, various new medicines, the future, all that good stuff. So that's what Lojanova says.
Yep.
Which, if you're listening to this, Lojanova, give us a call or send us an email.
Yeah. Now, she did say something like that, like after she wrote down a lot of these, that they actually went to different countries asking if they could recognize any of like the symbols and stuff that she had written down, which no one really recognized any of it.
Yeah. It's weird.
I bet you she didn't take it to a doctor though.
Oh, well, that's a prescription for anxiety medication. The aliens back then had anxiety.
That's why he's locked inside. He became an introvert.
Yeah. All right, so let's transition to theories. So I guess, Dan, you want to start us off and tell us about this first theory?
Of course. So our first theory is that when they were digging, they found an alien. That the one communicating with the psychics was an extraterrestrial being that had crash landed there and had been stuck there. As a self-defense from anyone getting too close, its ship's defense system was activated with an invisible barrier, keeping anyone who gets too close away. Once they got past the barrier and got a hold of the alien, they packed up everything, sealed up where the ship was so that no one else could get to it.
I love that theory, and I really hope that that is the truth.
Yeah.
I really do, because it makes sense. If this truly happened, 100%, that invisible barrier would be the ship's defense system that's being activated. Now, my question is, if the ship can activate its barrier, why can't it activate its propulsion system and yeet up out of that hole?
Only thing I could think of is like when watching other movies that some electrical stuff gets destroyed, power systems failing, only provides enough power to do certain things
Yeah, that's true.
for the system.
Why would they, well, now that I think about it, why would they link the propulsion system with the barrier system, like the defense system? Because let's say if they got into some shooting war with another ship, if their defense barrier is linked to the engine systems and the defense barrier goes down, so does their engines. Doesn't make sense. I think that went through. So.
Hey, if you watch Star Trek, they always divert power away from the engines to the defense shields when being attacked. I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I've only watched a couple.
All right. So let's go on to the next theory, which is about Nazi treasure. So this theory is that the Bulgarian military actually found treasure. They heard about some treasure being in the Saracina, and it wasn't the treasure of Tsar Samuel, but instead that of the Nazis. They believed that the Nazis may have hid treasure troves in multiple places, and one of those places was in Saracina. Why? They don't freaking know. This is a theory, right? They don't know why they might have done that. Now, there is speculation that the treasure was belonging to the Nazis, and that they didn't want an official report about them looking for Nazi treasure. So instead, they said, oh, we're looking for the first Tsar Samuel's treasure instead. It's sort of like a reasonable excuse, which I can see that being used, the Tsar Samuel's treasure, instead of them saying, hey,